You know, in sports, there are these moments that just define a career. A single tournament, sometimes just 1 week, can turn a player from a maybe into an absolute legend. Well, for Sanju Samson, that moment was the 2026 T20 World Cup. This is the story of how he completely rewrote his own destiny.
For years, let's be honest, Sanju Samson was that guy. The one with all the talent in the world, but you just never knew what you were going to get. Inconsistent was the word always attached to his name. But then, in the space of just a few days, he flipped that script, silenced every single critic, and became the hero India desperately needed. So forget the stat sheet for a second. This is a story about 2 knockout games, 2 totally different kinds of pressure, and one man who stood taller than anyone else when it mattered most. This is how a legend gets made. All right, so our story kicks off at the legendary Eden Gardens in Kolkata. And this first performance, it was all about pressure, composure, and just an ice-cold refusal to lose. So picture this. It's a do-or-die game against the West Indies, a virtual quarterfinal. Win, and you're in the semis. Lose, you go home. West Indies puts up a massive 196. And then India's chase starts to fall apart. The top order crumbles, the required run rate is climbing, the pressure is just immense. And into that chaos walks Sanju Samson, and he delivers this. 97 not out. It's not just the runs, it's that little asterisk next to the number. That star tells you everything you need to know. It means he was there at the end. He refused to get out. He saw the job through. And what an innings it was. This was a masterclass. He took on their best spinner, Akil Hossain, and carved him for a flat 6 that shifted all the momentum. He used the raw pace of Shamar Joseph against him with these perfect back foot punches. And the finish? Oh man, pure cinema. A giant 6 off for Mario Shepard to tie the scores, then the winning shot, and he just drops to his knees. You could feel the emotion. So yeah, this knock in Kolkata, it was way more than just winning a match. It was a declaration. It was Sanju Samson telling the world that the whole inconsistent tag, that whole can't handle pressure idea, was officially dead and buried. Okay, so if Kolkata was about being the anchor of ice, the next chapter at the Wankhede in Mumbai was about becoming an absolute demolition man. The semifinal was a completely different story. The scene shifts. Now we're in Mumbai for the World Cup semifinal against England, an absolute powerhouse. India's batting first, and on this pitch, a good score isn't going to cut it. You need a monster total. The mission was crystal clear. Attack, attack, attack. And Samson understood the assignment perfectly. He just unleashed an absolute tornado. 89 runs from just 42 balls. I mean, that's a strike rate well over 200. This wasn't about soaking up pressure. This was about inflicting it. Utter domination. And he went after their best guys. He greeted Jofra Archer with a 6 that literally went out of the stadium. He took the spinner, Liam Dawson, for 19 in a single over. And against Mark Wood, bowling fire at 150 clicks, he just calmly scoops him for a 6. Audacious. In the middle of all that, he even broke the record for most 6s by an Indian in a single T20 World Cup. Just incredible. And this is what's so brilliant. Just look at the 2 roles. In Kolkata, he's the calm, calculating general in a tense chase. Then in Mumbai, he's the explosive battering ram who sets the tone. 2 massive knockout games, 2 completely different situations, and he absolutely mastered both. That's a true sign of greatness. The story is epic, right? But the numbers behind it all are somehow even more stunning. So let's dive into the data because it proves just how special this 2-game stretch really was. So get this, across these 2 high-stakes games, he scored 186 runs and only got out once. But look at those strike rates, 194 while chasing, and then a ridiculous 211 batting first. The impact ratings say it all. It went from high to extreme. He wasn't just playing in the games, he was deciding them. So how did he do it against England? He took on their biggest threats head-on. He smashed 34 runs off Jofra Archer. He took 18 runs off the express pace of Mark Wood. He didn't just survive their speed. He thrived on it. He dominated it. And the boundary count is just wild. In just 2 games, he hit 31 boundaries. That's 24s and 11 6s. He was finding the rope pretty much every other ball he faced. That's just relentless aggression. But here's the smartest part, the thing that shows his real growth. This wasn't just random slogging. Analysts actually broke down his innings and found a clear system.
For his first 10 balls or so, he's just knocking it around, getting his eye in, but once he's set, boom, he flips a switch, and his strike rate just explodes. That's not just talent, that's a plan. That is a mature world-class batsman.
So, after you've conquered the world stage, what comes next? Well, for Sanju Samson, a brand new challenge and a whole new kingdom was waiting for him back in the IPL. Because you see, a performance like that, that's not an ending. For a player who's finally unlocked their full potential, that's a launch pad for something even bigger. And that something bigger came in the form of a historic, record-breaking trade. 18 crore rupees. That's the price that made Sanju Samson a Chennai Super King. And look, a number that big isn't just a salary. It's a valuation. It's a statement that you are now one of the most valuable players in the world. But this move to CSK is loaded with so much meaning. I mean, he's seen as the guy to take over the gloves from the legend MS Dhoni. That calm under fire thing we saw in Kolkata, that is the CSK philosophy in a nutshell. He's not just arriving as a star player. He's arriving as the leader in waiting for the entire franchise. When you put it all together, it's pretty clear. Sanju Samson isn't just joining another team. He is being handed the keys to one of the greatest dynasties in T20 history. He is inheriting a kingdom. And that leaves us with one final massive question. We've seen him conquer the world stage. We've seen him show both ice-cold calm and explosive power. So now, with the crown practically on his head, is this new Sanju Samson the leader who can build Chennai's next great dynasty? Well, I guess we're all about to find out.